There's this really stupid strategy that I use with Omen all the time. I was like, I'm going to boot up the game real quick. So you get ready, you blind, and then you immediately TP right here. You go here and you take your free kills, because here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. So when a blind is coming this way, the people who are sitting here getting hit by the blind have two options. They have two options. Option number one, they're going to run away this way or this way. So they're going to run away back to like this area of the map. This is what you don't want. If they're sort of back there, then it's fine, I guess. You get a lot of space very quickly, so it's good. But the second thing, and what people normally do, which you want them to do, is they're going to be tucking in this corner right here. Because look at where you TP. Look at where you TP, right? Very start of the round, you throw your blind, kablooey. You TP right here with your crosshair instantly pre-aimed right here, ready to kill anyone here. Have you ever wanted to see this? But instead, you're just stuck looking at this. Hi, my name is Berate. I'm a Radiant coach, and if you want to get coached absolutely free of charge, join my Discord server, read the VOD submission rules, submit a VOD for me to review, and I will get to it as soon as I can and turn it into a video giving you detailed notes along the way. Enjoy the video. First off, that one-way smoke, you can really only play off of that one way if you're either sitting in heaven or you're sitting deep CT. When it's this close, it kind of hurts your fade more than helps her. The smoke that I would have thrown is I would have just thrown a smoke right here and just forgot about the one way, because that one kind of hurts your fade a little bit. Of course, fade does end up getting the kill because, you know, your fade's actually good at the game, but, you know, it's just something to keep in mind that the one way isn't always your best option. So you know that they've planted B and you know that they're planting on B. So most likely what I would have done right here is I would have dropped a smoke right here. Like I would have dropped a smoke right here, or for bigger right here. Just so that one, I could cross, but two, I could also sit inside of the smoke, putting myself in a position where I could use my classic right click. Your first mistake was buying full util on defense. I think the strategy's okay, but 90% of the time, especially on defense haven, you're not going to really be getting use out of these teleports. So if you are going to go with the classic, I usually just get the smokes, the blind, and then the light shields is normally what I run with, just because you're not really going to get too much crazy use out of these teleports. But in this exact scenario, what I would have done is I would have thrown a smoke right here, and then you have multiple options, because right now, in order to make the retake as awkward for the attackers to fend off as you can, you need to create a bunch of options in their head. So by throwing a smoke right here, you create an option. You could cross right here. So you could cross into this area right here and play, you know, some kind of crossfire with your brimstone. That's option number one here. Option number two, imagine the smoke right here. You push into the smoke with your classic, ready to right click them. That's option number two. Or option number three, you can sit behind the smoke and then use your teleport that you bought to TP back sight, or not back sight. Probably the best TP would be on top of these boxes up here. You'd probably TP on top of these boxes, but like a little bit further back. So you have 1, 2, 3 options that it gives you by just throwing the smoke alone. And these are the types of smokes that, as an Omen player, you really need to be thinking about. I probably would have routed to the right here. The reason why you route to the right here is, again, it's all about options. It's all about options. You want to make it, when you're playing Omen, you want to confuse the enemy as much as you possibly can. By routing to the left, one, you're running into their spam, which you see their bullet traces, you see that they're spamming this left side right here. But two, by going to the right, you create more options. Remember, it's all about options. By going to the right, you can sit on top of here, you can just sit inside the smoke on the right, you can go behind platform, you can sit in this corner, back here. Like, you have a bunch of options. When you go to the left here, your options are sit behind here, go logs, or get out. But getting out isn't really an option that hurts the defenders. Or sorry, my bad, hurts the attackers. So your really only two options is sit behind here or sit logs. Again, but still the main problem is you're running right into their spam and you're taking a bunch of chip damage for free. So here I probably would have just gone to the right. Or alternatively, what you could do is you could sit in the smoke, wait out the suppress, and then like teleport somewhere. That's also another option as well. Because if you sit in the smoke right here, right, you wait out the spam and you wait out the suppression, you have a free teleport to go on top of this box right here. And you can make an instant high-low with your fade, with your Sage to back you up in Garage. Again, these are just options, but going to the left here into the spam was definitely the worst of those options. Yeah, it's a little bit too risky of a play for my thought. So think about this. You get, what's it called? They pretty much know you're here right now. This is the oldest Omen play in the book. The old, what's it called? The old TP on top of this box with the one-way. It's kind of telegraphed that you're in this portion of the map, or you're at least somewhere in this area, right? So right now they're going to be expecting you because like you throw this one way, right? Hold up. There you go. Wait. I used to do this one all the time. Hold up. There we go. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so you throw the smoke there, right? And you're sitting up here, you get ulted off, and then you get blinded. The fact that they ulted you and then Omen also blinded you right here sort of telegraphs that they know where you are. And the fact that you're sitting here, not even just with your gun out, but with your blind out, and because of the fact that they hard cleared you here, kind of just proves my point that they know you're here. Like, you're not really going to be sneaky here. Like, you're not really going to be playing the off angle. Like, this is a good off angle, by the way. I play this off angle pretty often in my games, especially when I know that they're going short. But because they know that you're here, I probably would have just burned my TP and gone back to site. You probably playing graffiti here, or even like fully falling back to site, or CT, or backside, or even hell, or ammo, or anything, probably would have been better than just sitting there, because they know that you're there at that point. So you kind of just throwing your life away here. At this point, I would have thrown a sight smoke for your team, but you kind of already won the round at this point. But in the scenario where it isn't a 5v3 and the round is just unlosable, what I would have done here is I would have thrown a smoke right here for my team. I would have thrown the smoke right here. Because it just makes it super awkward. You probably know this, but it makes it really awkward for them to take backside with that smoke. And I would have just preemptively thrown that smoke. But the fact that you didn't throw it even in the 5v3 means that like you haven't made it a habit. So I would make a habit of throwing that particular smoke when you know that they're pushing C and they're already past the choke point. Crosshair's a little bit too close to the wall. This is a bit of a nitpicky thing, but your Omen fundamentals are good. So I'm going to have to be a little bit nitpicky here. But your crosshair placement's way too close to the wall. Ideally what you want is when you're clearing an angle, you want your crosshair to be anywhere from this far to this far away from the wall. So like, imagine this is the wall that like I'm looking at. When you're clearing your crosshairs in the wall like this, which is fine for pre-aiming. Notice pre-aiming and what you're doing right now are two completely different things. When I'm pre-aiming this door, I have my crosshair in the wall, ready to pre-aim the door at head height right here and either pre-fire, right? But when you're just walking and sort of expecting a swing, you don't want your crosshair to be in the wall. You want your crosshair to sort of be away from the wall like this. And then once you've cleared this corner, that's when I would put my crosshair in the wall and go for the pre-fire. So the whole walking sequence, if I were to walk from right here all the way over, it would sort of look like this. But yeah, I sort of get the idea. Notice how I'm adjusting my crosshair for everything. When I'm close to the wall and I'm getting ready to swing new angles, that's when I get ready to pre-aim the new choke point. But when I'm just walking, when I'm tracing the wall, roughly this far away from the crosshair. And how far you put away your crosshair is entirely relative. When you're in the buy menu, you see this thing, minimum next round. If this number is over 5,000, buy a shorty. If the number is under 5,000, don't buy a shorty. Simple as that. If the number's over 5,000, buy a shorty. Rule of thumb I want you to stick with, because that's one that I use in games. When I'm playing games, and it's not even Omen, with every single agent that I play, if I have more than 5,000 credits going into the next round, I will always buy a shorty as a sidearm, regardless of the agent that I'm playing. However, there's a way to do it without needing to buy yourself a frenzy, because this play only requires one teleport. So I think you're better off buying a ghost here. Get full shield. Okay. The reason why you get full shields on an anti-eco is to stop classic right clicks. Look at this. This beautiful game mechanic right here called a classic right click If you don't have heavy shields, you're going to get cooked by it. Because here's exactly what's going to happen. If I just lost pistol round and I'm on defense, here's what I'm doing. Well, okay. If it's what I'm doing, I'm getting a deagle and I'm playing aggro, ready to get one and get out. But normally what people are doing is they're going to have no shields with their little classic. They're going to try and push up to an aggressive off angle like this. They're going to crouch down and get ready to blast your head off, hoping that you bought light shield so that they can get their free kill, free gun, and hopefully win the round. The way you counter this is by clicking this magical button right here that gives you 50 extra health, so you can tank this. Now, if the enemy team knows classic tech, where they do the left click and then the right click, then it gets a little bit more complicated. However, if you press this magical little button, you have to worry about that a lot less. Because any goober can just shift walk up and get ready to blast you. So get heavy shields and anti-ecos. If you haven't heard it before, or if you haven't understood why you get heavy shields on anti-ecos, that's the reason why. The classic right click is way too much of a risk to be risking not getting heavy shields on. Oh, this smoke is so risky. This smoke is so risky. At any point, someone could have pushed the smoke and killed you there. See, look at that. The Omen tried to play a cheeky off angle, playing for the classic right click. Good thing he blinded. Case in point. Look at this. Look at this. You get full blind. Listen to the beautiful sound of me being correct and me calling it, bro. I swear, I can see the future in 90% of these VOD reviews that I do. If you don't get heavy shields, you're gonna get railed by a classic. I don't know if that was a left click or a right click, but case in freaking point. You have heavy shields there, you probably tank that shot, you still die, but at least you have a chance. Okay, first off, I would have gotten out of this corner. Reason for that is you're not going to be doing anything in this corner. The sage wall is going to take 40 seconds to break, and I guarantee you your team is either going to be dead or the bomb's going to be planted by the time the 40 seconds is up. So what I would have done is I would have shift walked and skedaddled over here, thrown a smoke right here, and getting ready to take as many fights as I possibly can with the run and gun thing that is the frenzy. I would have gotten the deagle here. The reason why I would have gotten the deagle is because you get a lot more versatility out of the deagle. You can play mid to long range with the deagle, which is better against their vandals. But if you are going to buy the frenzy, here is what I would have done. So first off, sage walls this. Doop-de-doo, sage is here, right? So you can cross this for free. So I would have gone here. And the effective range of the frenzy is about this far, right? So I'd say that from here to the box is about the furthest that I would be comfortable taking a fight with a frenzy. That isn't very far. So look at this. You throw a smoke right here. Then you throw a smoke right here for this cross. Then what you're going to do is you're going to shift walk here. And look, every single fight that you take with this setup is going to be in the effective range of the stinger, and it gets even better. If you push the smoke, right? And again, never be afraid to push your own smokes. Pushing your own smokes is very, very good strategy. Look at this. Boom, if you push out right here, one, you're not exposed from here. Every single fight you take back sight is also completely within the effective range of the frenzy. So if you're going to buy a frenzy, you need to understand one, effective ranges, and two, how to set yourself up for those effective ranges. If you were playing Reyna, if you were playing Jet, I would be a little bit iffy with the frenzy buy. However, since you're playing Omen, you can completely make this work by using your smokes. On rounds like this, your team doesn't need quote-unquote good smokes. And I'm saying heavy air quotes on the good. Because for this scenario, let's see what your team has. Right now, what weapons does your team have? Open the buy menu, boom. Your team all has close to mid-range weapons. So not only would the smokes give you a way to just run and gun and blast people with your frenzy, but you also help your entire team out. Tell me you're lurking without telling me you're lurking. Every single Omen and their mother uses that smoke for lurking. You're not being unpredictable with that. Yeah, you see, they were so confident that you were just going to be sitting there holding that they even had the cojones to jump spot out of it. Like, look at this. Boom. They knew that you were there, so that So they just like had the cojones to jump spot out of it, because it's just so telegraphed that you're there by throwing that smoke. And plus, lurking up C isn't even the best option 90% of the time anyways. Normally I like to do a garage lurk, and I know the garage lurk is kind of cooked because of that sage wall right there that you're looking at. However, another option is you could have lurked up B as well, because one, it puts you closer to A so you can get a better timing on your lurk. Not too sure how that KO didn't expect you to be there, but you know, I rest my case. This is low elo. But still, you need to, if you're going to be lurking with Omen, your timing needs to be impeccable, because remember, what is the goal of a lurk? The goal of a lurk is to get behind the enemy and to abuse a timing. So what you do with your lurks is, one, you want to effectively choose a lurk path that's going to be the shortest point from point A to point B. So if you're lurking through C and your team's going A, you're just going to take you all this time to go through B, or all this time to go through spawn, or all this time, blah, blah, blah. It's going to take a lot of time, especially if you're shift walking, which you should be. However, alternatively, if you go through B, boom, you're right where you want to be in a few steps or less. And they're not going to be expecting this almost equally as much as they're going to be expecting this, unless you telegraph it with the smoke that you threw right here. The goal with a lurk, there's two goals when you're lurking. One, you want to lurk without them knowing that you're lurking. Two, you want them to be scared of the lurk every round so they have less defenses. And three, the end goal of a lurk is to either have them always have a side anchor to catch the lurk, which makes it so they have less people to hold down the site, less people to retake, and the retake will be late. Or two, you want to ideally stab them in the back and get 1, 2, 3 kills with your backs turned to you.
Hey you, if you made it to the end of the video, make sure to subscribe to Berate, or I will take your Valorant elo.